it's really interesting that people think they have to have a certain amount of money to have a will.
I think that's probably one of the greatest myths, because oftentimes we find the less value people have in terms of assets, the greater they are at risk to things not happening properly, and you have less margin for error in that case. So making sure that upon a person's death, that what they have can be administered as efficiently as possible to get to the right people is really important. And unfortunately, we find oftentimes because people think they don't have enough to have a plan, they don't have a plan. And so it just, whatever chance leads us to. And that can be much more difficult. It ends up being more costly in terms of how we get from where we are to the final result.
So other than waiting too long, what is the biggest mistake you see?
I think the biggest mistake I see is people making assumptions that are incorrect. For example, Vinnie, you talked about people thinking they don't have enough to have a will. Or if they're married, assuming that everything will go to their spouse, and their spouse will make sure that anything they want to go to a particular child, or if they want an amount to go to their school or their church or whatever organization they're associated with, their spouse will take care of that. And that's not necessarily the case. Oftentimes too, we see in more families where it's a blended family. It's not the traditional family. It's not mom and dad and 2 children, and those are the only spouses those parents have had. There may be children from prior marriages. There may be family members who legally are not considered children, but effectively are part of that family and are treated like children or grandchildren. So having a plan that recognizes that and makes sure that the people that we care about are taken care of in the manner we feel is appropriate.